Hey guys, this is Mark Shawson, the Pattern Trader, and in this week's weekly video report, I once again did a recap of my trading methodology, which is number one, to identify the phase or the condition of the market. So whenever I open up a chart, I want to see that chart speak to me and say something. So we could be looking at a market that's in an uptrend, a market that's in a downtrend, or something that's going to be going sideways. Now, if a market is reversing, to my mind, there's always a preceding historical chart pattern that will precede the turn. And so once I understand the trajectory by virtue of the trend or the chart pattern, then I start whittling it down to a certain number of bars, which I've called my insurance day bars or insurance week bars, depending on the time frame and the chart you're looking at. This could be a key reversal, an inside bar, and then I layered this methodology with an execution plan that calls for me to put a buy stop above the high of a market that I'm looking to get long, or a sell stop below a market that I'm looking to get short. Now, one thing I've left out of this analysis, and to me it's perhaps one of the biggest considerations, and that's the market environment. So sometimes we see chart patterns, they explode out of the pattern in a timely way, and we go from one level to the other. And then when we examine the same chart pattern in a different market environment, the market may not go anywhere. It may not cooperate. It may not explode the way it did in another time frame. So we need to take into account the environment. And the reason I'm saying that is that I'm noticing that the FX environment, perhaps the stocks, also gold, are starting to go in much more defined boundaries than they have been in the prior months. So we've seen an explosive move in the U.S. stock markets beginning in last March, where at the bottom of the pandemic, the market soared to all-time new highs. They're still sitting at new highs, but we've noticed that the ranges are getting smaller. There's a lot of internal rotation within the market. So even though the indexes look like they're staying at one level, there's enormous volatility underneath some of these indexes. This also goes for FX, where the dollar hit a major support level. Now it's heading down in the direction of what I believe is the major trend, which is a lower trajectory. But it's also very possible that while the dollar goes lower, we could be extensively range bound. So while I like the Australian dollar versus US dollar higher, the euro versus US dollar higher, I think that it may take a while before we get an explosive move out of some of the ranges that we've established. Gold and silver also had a bit of a support come in last week at some major bottoming areas. But I'm not sure how sustainable this rally will be, and my instinct tells me that we're just going to be mucking around in certain ranges. So we have to be careful in identifying both the trade setup as well as the environment we're trading in. So with that said, I highly suggest that you check out my weekly video report. It's always chock full of information. I go into extensive analysis of all of the markets and identify those moves that are set to put on monster moves based on just the price action and price patterns. One of the moves that I see coming very soon is in the stock of Beyond Meat, BYND. I did an extensive analysis in my weekly video report. I also did an analysis of LYFT, Lyft. Lyft will be announcing earnings in next week, and I expect a huge move from Lyft. So to find out which way I'm expecting it to go, I would suggest you sign up for the weekly video report. This is a no-brainer offer. The weekly video report is available for any price you want to pay. So we'll put a link alongside this video. You decide what the value is, and hopefully I will see you on next week's weekly video report. And with that said, I want to wish you guys a healthy and prosperous trading week, and I will see you next time.